Furman.
Well, and I'm like, what do you mean? I look like the racist? Why do I have to be the racist?
You know why.
No, I don't know why.
All right.
Cater yesterday said I look like Mark Furman, and he said Andy Kamenetsky looks like the white Christopher Darden, which is just the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Doesn't make sense.
Andy is sticking with he looks like Jason
Well, I've
Statham.
convinced myself that I look like Jason
And
Statham.
needless to say, O'Shea Jackson Jr., or as he's called on the Grammys, O'Shea Jackson Jr.,
You know?
resembles his father.
Yeah, squint your eyes.
A lot of hardware you got on your hand there.
Yeah, dude, I already knew my Kobe shout out at the Grammys. I came from an All-Star weekend where it was just a sad fest.
Yeah.
So, I had to do something cool.
Did you cry at the All-Star game?
No, but it let me know that I'm going to cry in April.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the tears in April?
You're going to think O'Shea watched one of those Sarah McLachlan commercials with,
in the arms of an angel.
A couple of those dogs are all right.
Yeah. I was stunned. So I did the Dodgers show on the network, the Dodgers network last night. So I was behind on the DVR, and so here I'm running the Grammys. First guy out of the box is O'Shea Jackson Jr. It's
of course, what you're wondering is why didn't you get me tickets to the Grammys?
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
What have you done for me lately,
couldn't
O'Shea?
get me into the Grammys? It's unbelievable.
I didn't know you had access to that. What a jerk.
But it goes Taylor Swift, LL Cool J, followed by you and your dad.
Yeah.
You're like right at the top of the show.
Yeah, it was cool. I felt a certain type of way about Rap Album of the Year being first. But, it was great to see my man Kendrick. He's been a huge supporter
Dude, his
of the movie.
performance was amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible performance. Yeah.
It's his energy, man.
The thing about that, too, is that's just flat out art. Is what that is. I felt the same way. I know there's some themes that are going to, tick off white people or whatever, but that is.
Well, it doesn't take much.
That white people are so easily
upset,
offended.
yeah.
Right as soon as they get over the Beyonce performance at the Super Bowl, here comes Kendrick Lamar on the Grammys. I thought it was just amazing. I thought it was an amazing performance, and I really thought that was going to win Album of the Year. I couldn't believe Tay-Tay came up with the win.
It was all right. Yeah, I know. I did the rings for Kobe because it was
Yeah.
Kobe's house. Staples Center is Taylor Swift's house.
It really is.
So
According to
she had home
Kobe,
field
no
advantage.
less.
Yeah. I was there that night. I saw the Taylor Swift concert the night Kobe Bryant came out and raised the banner for
They
Taylor.
noticed.
Yeah, I was not at the Taylor
Seriously,
Swift concert.
I like the Clayton Kershaw line. If you don't like Taylor Swift, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah, she's got the Kobe cosign and the Kershaw cosign.
Although it was pointed out to me last night because she opened the show that really she doesn't. Her performance is basically walking fancy. Do you ever notice that she's just strut? All she's doing is walking like a fancy person, and that is her idea.
We're listening to Cancer in Los Angeles.
There you go.
Boom!
There you go. What was your favorite performance last night?
Had to be Kendrick. The Adele thing was that was
a shame.
How'd they screw that up?
Well, here's what it sounded like. So the mic is dropping out.
Unbelievable.
There's
I mean, it's
jangling.
frigging Adele.
And what happened was the piano mic fell into the piano.
Ah.
And as we all know,
Like,
it's a string.
why could that not have happened with Bieber?
Oh,
Like, you let Adele's thing go
right.
off without a hitch, and then you have the mic drop for Bieber.
But when when stuff's
A few times.
bouncing around inside a piano, it's just not
Yeah.
good. That's not good.
But I mean, she's still Adele.
She's still Adele.
She's still.
And what I liked about it was she sort of owned it. It's like, bleep happens, and I treated myself in and out afterwards.
Real one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just seems down to earth.
She's
She just
such
seems like a down to earth,
is
pretty
such
unaffected
a regular.
person.
She is such a regular girl. Like she's. Did you meet her? Did you party with her
No, no,
afterwards?
no.
Did you go to? Well, you must have gone to parties afterwards.
I did not.
You did not?
Dude,
You're not a guy that goes to parties?
Not really.
Really, not at all.
Yeah, I've been to a few Oscar parties.
Why
and
didn't you
that turn out
give
too
Steve
nice.
your tickets to all the
Right, I
parties?
could have gone to the parties.
Yeah, dude, I just got in from Canada like earlier that day.
Yeah.
So I just want to go home, and go to sleep.
You played in the
Sorry.
you played in the celebrity game.
Yeah, I guess that's what you call it.
Now, some people were critical of your skills. I explained to them that you had a high ankle sprain. I mean,
You know, my
how did
sciatica.
the high ankle playing with a high ankle sprain is difficult, isn't it?
Dude, all right. So the one shot that I did make, ball slips out of my hand before I'm even up,
Yeah.
and I literally push it with my hand. So it was the will of the man upstairs.
Yeah.
And the fix was in. You see the
Yeah.
size of Team
Oh
Canada?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel you.
I don't
guys.
like Canadians.
Whoa.
I just don't
That was
like
Steve.
Canadians generally. Like, I don't need you, Drake and Bieber and Alanis Morissette and Martin Short and ran out of names.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. No, I like everybody
Oh.
likes
Jason
Michael J.
Priestley.
Fox. Jason
Oh,
Priestley. There's another
that
one.
guy.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't. Canada is really just America's hat. I think I stole that right from the South Park.
Tracy
Was that
McGrady
you?
is
Well, I
not
brought it
Canadian.
up to you yesterday.
Right. Because it's from South Park.
Probably.
T-shirts, all kinds of stuff.
Did you party up there? Like, all I want to know about is the parties.
Yeah, my man Jordan Clarkson is a good dude. That's a good dude right there. Now I'm attached to him. Don't ever trade Jordan Clarkson. I'm saying it over the radio.
Hey,
He's a
Nothing-
good dude.
nothing
He's a good
imminent.
player.
And he looked
He's one
out
of the,
for.
he's one of the guys that can play.
He looked out
Nothing
for
imminent.
D'Angelo Russell too.
Oh yeah, did you hear that little D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah,
thing?
that was amazing.
Oh,
How could you guys
don't
not see that?
say
as a
anything.
goal?
It's on the Iron Bag.
Don't say anything
Talk
crazy.
about Byron.
Yeah.
Don't talk
I
about.
don't know
Don't
what I don't know
say
what Laker
doghouse.
fans want. You guys are talking about how Byron's not coaching well, but at the same time want Ben Simmons. What's going on, guys? You can't have it on both sides.
Actually, you can.
No, I've been
Look
really.
at-
No, you
Yeah.
can have it on both sides.
Listen to him.
You can play whoever the hell you want on this team, however many minutes, and they're going to lose. So you try to make it purposeful, which is why playing Lou Williams 35 minutes a night makes no sense.
You would think, look, I mean, you would think, how many games are we?
There's only like 27 games.
They've won
left or
11,
something.
they've lost 200. I
Yeah,
don't know exactly.
doesn't even matter,
I'm
yeah.
approximating the
Easier
number.
to
That
just stick
was
with the
hyperbole.
wins.
But it's closer. It's not as hyperbolic as you think.
Hey, man.
So at this point, evidentiarily speaking, you can tell there's really not much benefit to keeping Lou Williams in at the end of these games. It's not like they've
Right.
won a whole lot of them because
There are no odds to be played at
so
this point.
The benefit of we're going to win some of these games, as opposed to the experience value. And I did the Rogan show.
Yeah.
And one of the questions they asked was, what grade would you give the Lakers for the first half of the season? And it's weird because on the one hand, you can't give them a particularly high grade because I just mentioned they've won 11 games.
Well, no,
and
they're
they've
friggin'
lost
awful.
11 billion.
But they're
11
awfully enough.
billion is definitely hyperbole.
Yeah.
Okay, then now you're probably right. But the stuff that we've kind of Russell's played well.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
generally pleased with how he's in. Randall's been a double. He's
Don't
now,
talk about pick and roll.
Don't say anything crazy.
Don't
Randall is
talk.
literally now averaging a double-double. He's
Yeah.
averaging 10 and 10.
Oh, he's a beast.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And Clarkson's been good. And Nance all of a sudden looks like a thing.
Yep.
And so that part, and we've gotten way more out of Kobe than I ever expected.
Yeah.
Would you all agree with that?
No, he's
No,
shown
no,
flashes
I
of
respect
Kobe.
Aside from you,
Okay.
who expected,
So
assumed
you
he would
hear who
morph
doubted you in the
back
room.
into 2006 version of himself. A sea of jewelry.
holding up jewelry.
I just want
Doesn't
to-
actually play on the radio. Nobody knows
For
you're
the-
holding up those rings.
Rings.
You know how people when
So how do you?
like
But
a
you
his-
said how do you grade that team?
You know how when a historic building gets torn down and people are upset, or like some redwood forest is going to get chopped down, like protesters
Like all the
chain
way to
them-
the Gulf Stream
Yeah,
water?
they'll like
Sure.
chain themselves to that tree. O'Shea is going to chain himself to Kobe before Kobe's
I
last.
just, I just want Kobe's, his ride off into the sunset.
Don't go!
To be the right way.
Right.
Don't go.
Well, now I think. By the way, now I think is when you should be really careful with Kobe because we're in sight of the finish line, and you want him to be at his freshest,
Especially
because
because he was playing
very
like 32
best
minutes a night
in
for
April.
a lot of the season.
Right. We want great Kobe in April.
I just
That's
want,
what I'm
no, I
hoping
want
for.
walking Kobe in April, and I want great Kobe on April 13th. I'm a little worried what happens to O'Shea.
Oh,
when they
April
put-
13th. That's
When they
pressure.
put the statue up, Mr. Jackson,
Oh,
please
man,
step
I'm-
away from the statue.
No, man, I'm
Don't do that to the statue, Mr. Jackson.
You guys have no idea about the Kobe tributes that are going to come from me the rest
Really?
of the season.
What about
I think
a
we have a
movie?
decent idea.
You gonna make a movie?
Hello.
Oh, it's already done.
Kobe the
It's
movie?
already done.
Yeah, O'Shea's making Kobe the movie. The one, I see. I'm not in favor of firing. I mean, nobody can be in favor of firing Byron Scott this year. That makes no sense.
No,
Like
whatsoever.
now?
No.
But Ireland keeps saying,
We got, like-
"I'm telling you, he could be here next year," and I'm like, "I'm telling you, I'm gonna be pissed off." I mean, seriously,
standard?
Byron cannot be here next year.
Well,
I don't.
what if they brought him in for another interview?
What? He re-interviews?
Just re-interview.
I think
again.
we got a
Let's
pretty
start
good
from-
feel
Let's
of
start
what we're
from
going to see.
scratch. We'll bring him in for another round of interviews, and we'll pretend
look,
like this whole
It
thing
is
didn't
kind of the
happen.
Lakers' MO to pay coaches that are no longer coaching.
Sure
for them.
it is.
So in that sense, if they want to hold the form, they kind of have to fire Byron. Because I'm pretty sure Mike Brown and Mike D'Antoni are
They're
off the
still
payroll.
get- Are they
No, I
off
think
the
they're
payroll?
off the payroll
Well,
at this point.
Mike Brown, I believe.
But D'Antoni
is,
isn't.
but
D'Antoni hasn't
is-
accepted another head coaching.
No, but he's still getting paid. So he's still getting paid.
Oh,
the
it's
balance.
defrayed, right?
Right,
Yeah.
they may at this point be down to paying one coach, and that's not how they do business.
But here, I mean, you can't bring him back. You
Shots fired.
You can't bring him back.
can't bring him back.
Can't bring him
But
back.
here's the Lakers have the opportunity here, and it's because I don't think they're going to, as much as we like to tease, they are in a decent position to continue to improve. I don't think they're going to be able to make a monster leap this summer. You never know, but it's going to be hard because everybody's got cap space. Everybody's got flexibility like that. So let's say they hold on to the pick. Now you have Russell, Clarkson, and Randall, and the pick. I would keep all three of the young guys. I like how all of them are developing. And you get the pick and you sign a couple nice complementary free agents. The second tier guys, maybe Nick Batum.
Put out an
Yes.
offer that Golden State doesn't match on Harrison Barnes.
Perfect. Stuff like that. And you start
like that.
That'd be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You start to just build it up that way, and you can kind of keep going. And it's a perfect opportunity to start over with a young, enthusiastic Brad Stevens, Quinn Snyder type coach who can grow with the group
And by the way, too, if
and doesn't hate young people.
right,
And doesn't call them young people.
Right, who doesn't, you
Or
know-
doesn't use the word youngsters.
He
I want a coach who
You know
doesn't
my-
use
you
the
guys-
word
You guys got a
youngsters.
You know my
running
theory.
Kobe and the kids. Come on, man. How-
You know
how
my
respectable
theory.
is
I didn't
that?
write that crap.
Byron didn't shave his mustache. He grew it on the inside. The mustache is on the inside now. He's still just as old school as he was.
You know, the thing.
He didn't shave it.
I
Got
still
it.
wonder if there's not
Inside.
if there's not a play for Kevin Durant. I know this is
Well,
like
I'll say
always
this.
I
hit the
believe
lean.
in unicorns. All right,
got
I believe he could ride on a unicorn down Chick Hearn.
well, I don't believe in that particular unicorn. I believe in the unicorn that is Russell Westbrook, but I don't believe in
love
the
the Westbrook
unicorn.
unicorn.
Well, that's a year later.
Right, but I'll say this: if you want Durant to come now, which means he needs to believe this team is ready to win now, because he's not going to come to the Lakers and then bide his time. He wants to win right now. So with that in mind, you need to let these kids close out the games and actually win some. Like if they
look like they at least give them the
right,
opportunity.
if they actually can win games, if you lose Ben Simmons because the kids closed out wins, that's good
Let me
recruiting.
throw you the magical scenario. Okay,
All
this
right.
is the magical unicorn scenario. Stephen A. Smith has indicated that there may be a house cleaning in the front office. That this may be it for Jim Buss and
A lot of
Mitch
wishful
Kupchak.
thinking,
And
I
I,
think,
look,
with Stephen
I
A.
am,
as well.
who am I to question Stephen A. Smith? Because you do not want to get on the wrong side of it. So, if you're going to look for a replacement or a front office executive, the one that Kevin Durant loves is the assistant GM in Oklahoma City, Troy Weaver. In fact, if you go back and you look at Kevin Durant's MVP acceptance speech, he devoted more real estate in that speech to Troy Weaver than he did to Sam Presti, who got a sentence. So he loves this guy.
Hates Sam Presti, loves Troy Weaver.
Correct. Now, you bring Troy Weaver into the front office, and I think the Knicks may have the right idea. The Knicks are maybe looking at Scott Brooks as sort of the lure for Kevin Durant. So Scott Brooks as head coach, Troy Weaver in the front office, Kevin Durant
How about this?
with the Lakers.
Kevin Durant loves his mother. Give his
Sign her.
mother Lisa
Advanced
Estrada's
scout.
job.
No, Lisa. No, but you know,
Full on house
That's
cleaning.
it. It's
Wait,
a-
But
house.
wait a minute. I know you're joking. But isn't that kind of what you do?
You better like
say,
Troy Weaver, though.
Don't you
You
say
better like Troy Weaver. Because if you better like him for reasons that
Well,
don't
we know
involve
Jeannie
Durant.
likes Sam Presti. Jeannie
I'm
has
just saying, you
expressed
better
her
like him for
admiration
other
him.
reasons, because if Durant doesn't come, then you have a GM that you hired specifically for one guy who isn't there.
But let me ask you this though. I mean, obviously, if you can get Kevin Durant, you go get Kevin Durant. But is KD like mentally the right guy, I think, to replace Kobe? I don't think
think
he's
he
going
is
to
at
do
all.
what.
Let's
I
not-
don't think
I think,
Durant.
I think we get Kevin Durant this, the
I'm willing
first
to-
year.
I'm willing-
Let Kevin Durant see what it's like to be the solo star, see what
Sign him for a
and then
one-year
after that,
deal.
he can recruit.
All right,
Westbrook to
Kevin,
get
look,
down here.
we'll take a chance on you for 1 year.
Yeah.
But you understand what's like? I don't think, because the legend, Kobe, talking about Kobe and being compared to Kobe, it's going to be like, like when Obi-Wan Kenobi was like, strike me down, I will come back as more powerful.
Why does
than
it
I-"
have to
That's-
be? Why does he have to replace Kobe? I mean,
Impossible.
He doesn't. First
What
of all,
planet
nobody
are you living on?
Nobody can. And whoever plays for the Lakers is a star.
O'Shea Jackson
become
Jr. is
a
going
star.
to be. I can't even talk
Oh,
about the Kobe
No one's
statue.
going to replace Kobe.
Right?
Right.
No,
You
it's,
gotta
it's impossible.
But you don't
new
think the
era
narrative's
of
going to
stars.
be that you're replacing,
You're replacing
Kobe?
the next guy. The next star who comes in is replacing Kobe, and everything that you're doing is going to be
Do
compared
you
to
really
Kobe.
think people
Kobe
are,
did it this way
because
Kobe
Kevin
did it that
Durant
way.
is a nice guy? Do you think LA's not going to somehow accept an all-star?
Look at
former
the way
MVP?
people jumped off and on the Pau Gasol bandwagon because he wasn't alpha
Daily.
enough. He didn't put on his
We
pantalones
still
de macho.
have Kobe. There's no Kobe.
But
There is no alpha no more.
No, he is going to be forever compared. The
Yes,
Kobe
he will.
legacy lasts 2 decades longer
Okay,
than Kobe.
well,
And so-
but follow
so
the Stephen A.
Durant-
Smith plan to its conclusion.
Right.
He says Durant and Westbrook get along better than any of us
I don't
know.
disagree with
And
that.
that Westbrook
I don't
could
have a-
follow Kevin Durant
That's
to
great.
Los Angeles.
Westbrook
And
is
there's
the
your alpha.
perfect
Right.
replacement.
I
for
don't
Kobe.
think. Let me put it this way.
So now look at this roster.
Nope.
You've got Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, Jordan Clarkson, D'Angelo Russell.
So
Julius
Durant's our
Randle.
six man. It's
And now-
perfect.
and now-
Unbelievable.
And that's going to want Anthony Davis is going to want to come.
Right.
Of course he is.
So, but like you understand what I'm saying though. So, but the difference is when the young guys grow, it's different when you're a young guy and you grow into the role of a star as opposed to arriving as an alpha like Durant would. So it's different. I don't think he would like.
He
the
thinks the
constant
media at
comparisons.
OKC is too invasive. Like he thinks they're
No,
too
I
much
think he
in his
thinks
face.
the national media is.
Well, yeah. Well, we don't get any
He's
of that
been-
here.
No, but he's had trouble with the
Okay, so the
media.
national media, as a member of the Thunder, think how it's going to feel as for the national media as a member of the Lakers.
Oh yeah, well
the
when
first
you,
star after Kobe.
Now, like,
when you
keep in
nitpicky
mind-
bloggers get started.
Keep in mind.
Year of the blank guy over here. We're the negative guys.
Obviously, you still like. He's like, I still want to come. You're like, okay. I mean, obviously, that's the answer.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
against him coming. I don't think he's going
O'Shea, he does. Nobody's
No,
replacing Kobe.
Impossible. All right, impossible. Because it's time for a new era, a new alpha, a new star. And Kevin Durant, there's nothing that tells me he's not a perfect applicant.
Yeah, I don't get the.
What do you want?
It's not a matter of what we want. I'm talking about what he wants. I don't think
A ring.
he will
He's
like.
not going to get any free agents down
So he's
there
going
in
to
OKC.
But why would he leave a team that is better than the one
He's not going to get anyone to go down there.
He
There is
looking-
nobody on the Lakers that is currently better situated to
No.
get him a ring right now than Russell
But
Westbrook.
he is, and Russell Westbrook is going to leave the following year. And I think
Then
Kevin
I
Durant.
could
gonna name
and here's what I think
Westwood
will happen.
Westbrook.
This is what I think would happen. I think Durant exercises for 1 year, stays in OKC a year, then sees what happens. Because what if he
Why
goes
are
to
you
the Lakers?
raining on the unicorn parade?
Hope and fear.
Seriously,
Hope and
you're
fear.
playing
Why do you
hope
hate
and
fear?
fear.
Why do you hate
I'm
unicorns?
hope. You're always fear.
Right. Well, we gotta balance this, man.
Yeah.
Well, we are off to a great start here. Akuna Matata, Alex
out.
in Anaheim says, "Oh crap, this show sucks as bad as yesterday. I miss Ireland."
Yeah.
Buffalo Wild Wings wins
Just
beer
Ireland
sports.